Hi, y'all. I'm back with y'all weekly read. We're gonna see what's necessary going on. I had to like pause too many times, shuffle, so I was like, let me just do this shit over again. I was like, I ain't gonna like it though. What happening to constantly having to do shit over and over and over again. And it was just one take. So I was like, fuck it. Oh, okay, let's go. Let's go. We'll see what's necessarily coming up at the same time. Whatever the case may be. We'll see though what's coming for the week though. I started to do like the moon knowledge. I was like, I really wasn't feeling that technique though. Hmm. I really wasn't. Let's go. Y'all telling me, all right, let's go. I'm telling y'all, all right, let's go. Oh, but I said weekly energy readings or whatever the case may be. It could be something that you are already working on, or plan work, or awareness of certain things that came into fruition about you. You got four swords out here. It could be not the four swords. It's like the weekly readings could be anything. It could be something that already came up, something already that necessarily happened. It could be revisiting a style of a memory, or necessarily not knowing. It's like this intuitiveness of work, like whatever you feel called to in this season or this moment of being highlighted though, because like I said, this is the best time to be doing shadow work and past life work. You got Fool and the Two of Pentacles. In the first spread that I did, the Ten of Wands had came out though. You got Sun in the World. It was the Ten of Wands reverse to tell you. I didn't know if it was like beating a dead. I didn't know if it was like constantly doing the same thing or being tired or necessarily in a space of where you kind of like I'm done and being burden free with something. Got the moon here, so that's why I was like I didn't know or whatever. Whoo, Page of Cups reverse. Right there. It could be younger self, higher self. You got Eight of Swords, the Queen of Cups. You got Nine of Swords here in play. Let's see. Told you I do a 13 spread. Justice, King of Cups. And we got Empress in the Tower. Overall mood, we got the Tower though. And I say that Tower could be like changes or dealing with certain things. I told you like this month I've been saying like breakout. I told you that could be the crown chakra. That could be a stated with like certain things that's going on around you, environmental change. Because a lot of people with this Libra energy, where you hear me say that they're the balancing, that just I just got an email talking about Saturn's going through in fucking Capricorn or whatever the case may be. So this is the time to get your shit together. Whatever the case may be, we'll wait on this though. But from the balancing type aspects, a lot of people, where you hear me say from the fixed signs, they were trying to manifest and call into certain things. It seemed like when they were manifesting from a place of doubt, lack, purity, or the same type of rhetoric and going on. So it's like a lot of people are experiencing where a lot of people needing to relinquish certain relationships, thinkings, habits, things necessary to be able to be free. And like when I talk about when the vulture comes out, because the vulture came out like 3 times. The vulture rarely comes out, or whatever case may be. And how it talks about how the vulture will eat away when it comes to cleanse what's necessary that's not worthy. The vulture will eat off the living. So that's how it is. That's how it's feeling in this moment with shit. With Mercury going into fucking Scorpio, or whatever the case may be, like getting under the surface, where you hear me say people who wanting to do shadow work, past like work, like working on you, so you won't feel like life is just a test and it's cruel. I will say that though. Wait a minute. One of these bitches flipped. Um, Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Wands. Yeah, that's why I said Knight of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune are not like two good cards though. This could be Knight of Wands. This could be action based, so it could be a person ideally though. Knight of Wands, I'll tell you, that's more of an arrogant, egotistical, lower vibrational type energy, going through harsh times. For some people, it could be actions. It could be your own doing of certain things that's around you. Competitiveness, because the Ten of Pentacles did come out. I will say that though. It really did. Okay. On the bottom of the day, we got Knight of Swords upright. You got Seven of Swords reversed. You also got Ace of Swords though. Jesus Christ. We also got um what's that? Capricorn energy. And then you got King of Pentacles, and we also got the Hierophant up under this bitch. Hierophant, I tell you, for me with the King of Pentacles and the Hierophant, though, it could be maintaining or fulfilling in those type of aspects, though. I told you it could be some type of stronghold trauma bonds. Because I tried to do the reading last night, but it was like the reading that was necessary coming across. I don't think that This was supposed to be shared. It's supposed to be a different type of spread. But I talk about the trauma bonding, the aspects of the whole shadowy type aspects of this card, like the control that necessary that the darkness have over a lot of people's life, where it seclude them through a space of like, I want to have sex, I want to do this, or being in a hedonistic type lifestyle. The Knight of Wands type energy can be very shadow if you don't know when it comes out. Like if the Knight of Wands energy reverse pops out in those type of moments to where it's a good time and it causes chaos, like that's that. If the and it's kind of like this is a shadowy type aspects of not being able to move to, like thinking of the doubt, the negativity, the idolization of certain things, where you hear me talked about going into Virgo season. I was like, don't let Virgo season make you something that you're not. Striving for something that you expect for certain people that you know you cannot. So it highlighted in the number 9 that stagnancy, complacency energy in Virgo season, where it's like this, where you're seeing people that were trying to ascend or push the shadow in those aspects where they were just stuck. It was like, okay, I want to move, but how do I move? Because I'm so tethered to this. The old paradigm, what doesn't work for me, trauma bonded. So like, and you look at it though, as the more you look at this card though, look at this shit. I ain't never noticed that though. It's two people tethered together. But the higher self of the shadow necessarily though, or the people that's controlling it, it's not even bound to this. This manipulation, this is tactics, this is drama, this is chaos. Like it's like this could leave at any given moment, but it's tethered to the seat that's up under it. So for some of y'all, this could be getting under certain things like you, your masculine, your feminine energy, how you connect, you coexist, relationships, people around you. This could be soul ties, trauma bonds, sacral energy that's gone ideally though, but it could be that. I would say that though, because I told you I ain't never noticed that though. I thought when I seen the change, it was just him thinking, right? But it's the tear that's how. That's why I said for some of y'all though, it's that area. We go to the King of Cups and the Seven of Swords. For some of y'all, know this is like feeling, highlighting masculine energy style, or making assertive type interest when it comes to relationship, protecting and coveting you from that way. How I say, like a lot of feminine struggle when they say, "Oh, I make my own money, I do this," to where they become the man that they need to be, to where they seek for appraisal, like men when it comes to love type interest, necessarily than saying, "I'm over the age of 18, I stay in the U.S. or wherever I stay outside of this, and I provide for myself because that's what I'm supposed to do." Because I'm at a legal type age, if I don't have disabilities or whatever the case may be, someone are trying to seek out love or be in a state of love, they don't know how. Because it's either being tethered here, old lover, or wanting somebody to love you from that state of, or bring you to abundance, or how you think necessarily how you work. And it's like, I want to get here, but I don't know how. Because Seven of Swords is the energy of like somebody could, it's like things in the past that shadow where you have done or others necessarily may have done to you, where it puts you in a space up to where you need to be free to address certain things. So a lot of people are experiencing power type moments because of environmental factors, if it's things around them, if it's shit, no, that was my King of Cups. Shit, I took my King of Cups from right here, my bad. It was this. I took my King of Cups from here. The Knight of Swords and the Seven of Swords. This is like communication. This is understanding. This is the apprenticeship, the studying type of the mark, the information of awareness, like going into that drive or whatever the case may be. Because I saw you got the Empress energy reverse. Explaining that though, because I tell you Seven of Swords is like for me is the energy of a person that is in a space of where it's like no stone will be unturned. So it's like I have to face the truth necessarily, whether it's with me, because you see these two facing off. To y'all, it don't look like that because the way I got the cards turned, but it's like they're facing off. It's kind of like, no, you think you're getting away with something? No. So this could be you with yourself or certain things. I don't know what people around you though. But I told you in the first spread, that I pulled, it was kind of like the Queen of Swords, the Sun, and Ten of Pentacles, where somebody was burdened by being divorced or reason, right? Spread last night talked about where you hear me say being free and being able to move. So it's like they all meeting the same thing. It was just the energy that was necessarily off. Like it was off. Like it was just, like you know what I'm saying? I was all over the place. Okay. First card out, we got Fool. The Fool. Zero. I saw you the number zero is like when I was saying about learning what's valuable versus the world. Have the Moon reversed, and we also have the Justice. For me, when you hear me say, when I was telling people about the food, that it's the number zero, a lot of people don't like to start at ground zero when it comes to their truth, understanding, healing, or growing, or ascending, or establishing roots. people like to work off the old paradigm of I had this and this worked or this happened to me, and it's kind of like moving forward of like maintaining truth, strength, and understanding, and being able to learn in this hierophant style type energy. It's like learning to master this, to ascend this, to seek your own way of control, because this energy could control a lot of people. And they don't even know it, or whatever the case may be. So that's why I said it's like learning the value of what it is that you want to put into space, because you got the world and the moon where it's like the shift in personality, the shift in doing and understanding and justice. I talked about the Libra season where it's like the balance and scale. So it's like if you have problems with finances to where you're so grip tight and selfish and working on yourself so much to where it's don't know how to give, you will always experience this like changes that cost you always experience costly type manners. If you were in a timely type manner to where you always give to others more than yourself, it's like your vessel, your body, your mind, like that shit will start to shut down effectively. So a lot of people don't recognize that though as we moving forward. So that's why I said a lot of people are experiencing tower type moments. For some of y'all though, this is just shedding old paradigms and letting go of people because like this is just faking the funk, and it's like the top blew off the head, and it's kind of like no, I have to get out of this way of thinking or doing or being trapped, because I'm like, how the fuck did they like that's why I want to know in my mind, like how did I get up there? I wouldn't get up there. Like I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to get on that. Okay, let's get back on subject. Two of Pentacles reverse. We got the Page of Cups, the Eight of Swords, and we also have the King of Cups. For some of y'all, this is younger self versus higher self. I told you Page of Cups is very like a not dishonest type person. It is a person that likes to be free from something. Like the Two of Pentacles is like micromanaging, juggling. I can only hold so much until it doesn't. For some people, it's like, oh, I thought I had it and I didn't, and that's like justice at play for a lot of people who was like, well, I wanted to do this, I couldn't do this. It's like that's justice at play, like bringing the fairness and the balance in your life to teach you the things that you necessarily need. For those of y'all that into astrology, where it talks about Saturn goes into Capricorn, I'm not going to explain that to y'all, though. But y'all know I said Capricorns is one of those signs where they're hard to teach. Like you not, it's like hard to do something for. You got to teach them. You got to show them because it's like not in a space of I don't need you doing this for me. So for some of y'all though, this is the dishonesty. For some of y'all breaking free from lying to yourself or other people or situations around you. This could be relationships, how you date. It's just being free from that. Because it's kind of like even if you were working or doing or balancing certain things that were out of your hand or that made you in a space of fulfilled, it's kind of like, look at this. It didn't really much make you happy, whether it was pain, whether it was partners, whether it was lovers, whether it was sex, whatever it is, it caused in a position where it was time to relinquish some control. You got the sun here. I tell you, happiness. Every loss is not a loss. And the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Swords with the Empress, though. I think the Empress energy could be like a very doubtful type energy, though. It's like in a state of to where like it doesn't believe in its investments, its understanding, its growth, its worth, because a change is necessarily because if you got the Capricorn energy at play, where it's a very strong pole, I operate from pain because Page of Cups could like insinuate childhood issues when it comes to dishonesty. Where I was telling y'all, like my biggest thing when dealing with liars or whatever the case might be, I was like, have I created enough room for people to be honest with me? And if I didn't, even if they still were lying and I wanted and didn't feel like I was deserving of the truth, I still had to figure out why did that lie bother me so bad. So for some of y'all though, I think this is that energy though, because it's the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Swords though. For some of y'all though, this is like turning your back, or like for some of y'all, I really feel like operating on the old paradigm when it comes to hurt or situations, y'all gonna feel like you're turning your back on yourself. It's really just the balancing of certain things that you bringing into order though. For some of y'all, this is like the two relationships type as it's a relationships or two lovers, ideally though, whatever it is. But I tell you, it's gonna feel like you turning your back on yourself. I tell you, it really is though. Because you get the sun, though. I tell you, the shadow runs from the light, right? But when the shadow knows it's respected and understood, and it doesn't run from light. But if it's in a state of being bound, suppressive, oh, I will hide my true intentions, I'll do this, I do it, and I don't want to. When it's time to change, and light comes in to ascend or understanding or fruition, it's like, no, I don't want to. Some of y'all just got something to do with pregnancy. I would say that though some of y'all are pregnant and going through certain changes though, so it could be that though. You could be the King of Cups energy, like okay, all right, huh. And then it's like, oh, baby's getting on my fucking nerves. I really don't like, you know what I'm saying? Like going through the changes though. Or it's like this baby's getting on my fucking nerves. You got King of Swords though. It's like this baby's okay, let's get back on because I'm all over the place. Um, you got King of Swords versus the Judgment and the Six of Swords. So for some of y'all, though, I told y'all that is what's happening in y'all life. It's breaking free from certain things, and it's like pushing you to a higher knowledge or a higher understanding. For some of y'all, though, where I say those memories that you keep revisiting that keep you crippled or crutched, like that is where your greatest power is to go into the judgment type aspects to get those well done, to get those redemptions, the understanding, the highness, the divine calling, to be able to move. Because a lot of y'all are being cut free from certain things to be able to move from chaotic type situations. A lot of y'all are moving into chaos and was like, I don't want to fucking be here. Like, how did I get here? Or whatever the case may be. It's kind of like you see somebody, I go to work every day, like using COVID as example. I go to work every day. Now I don't get to fucking go to work. And they kind of like losing their shit. But it's like, you say you was gonna do this. You say you were gonna say like that's how COVID energy had people in the beginning. It's like you said you were gonna do this. You said you was gonna do this. Okay, let's go. You got four swords, which is a two of swords in play, six of wands, and then you got the two of swords. That's why I said this is like Six of Wands and the Two of Swords. For some of y'all, though, I tell you this King of Swords, it's like cutting off certain things, though. See attentive type certain things. For some of y'all, though, I don't feel like some of y'all seen this coming about, whether it's from spirit, divine, or help or hope. Some of y'all, I don't think y'all seen this coming, though, because Six of Wands, it could be frenemies. It could be a lifestyle. It could just not being seen. It could just not being utilized, though, because Six of Wands talks about the defaming process, though. So a lot of people, ideally, though, whether when I was talking about in the first spread, that Queen of Swords being burdened by of always being so rational and not being able to maneuver. This is where I tell you Page of Cups come into play. Like Page of Cups versus not like the idea of child. I tell you it is selfish. It wants what it wants. It doesn't care about nobody. Like it moves the way it moves. It's not a healthy, balanced inner child. So for some of y'all though, that's the burdenship that comes from relationships and people around you though. Because I tell you, Six of Wands ain't nobody friends. Queen of Wands reverse is nobody friends. And Queen of Pentacles is nobody friend. Dead ass. I say that all the time because it keeps you on a fluctuated type state idea though. Some of y'all though, I think this is where that doubt comes into play though, because it's like a stagnancy that comes about because when people go into healing or cutting loose or doing cord cutting processes or the releasing of certain things, it's like, do I really want to let this go? Like when you see most people with rituals and understanding of doing them, where you see, I don't want to do it, I don't want to, I'm scared. And it's not like that type of states where people don't want to. That's what I said it's that though. It's like a defensive. I'm defending. So that's what I said it's that though. Some of y'all, I tell you, it's a stronghold on the past or certain situations. We 17 minutes in. God damn. Ace of Pentacles and the Emperor. I said that. The Emperor energy can be like a routine type state energy though. Because the Ace of Pentacles or whatever the case may be, I think for some of y'all though, the way it is harnessed from pain because people feel to recognize because you don't have to be a control freak. You could be a person that like navigate off your pain. Well, I don't want to go hang with those people because they were assholes to me when I was little, so I don't want to hang with those type of people. Or when I was little, I think it's like that navigating towards those circles. And a lot of y'all, I think, when it comes to healthy management, when it comes to control or being reserved, I think this is what Divine is trying to offer y'all those stepping into where you hear me talking about those masculine type aspects, or a lot of you like not understanding when it comes to the feminine type aspects. A lot of y'all have to take so much emotional hits to heal, to understand how, the what, the when, the where, and the why before you break into this. If it's like relationship type aspects or just a healthy control. So that's why I said that's what a lot of y'all were doing. All right, let's go. We got Three of Wands though. We got Ace of Cups, Nine of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. I told you that. I knew that was coming out. For some of y'all, though, I told you this got something to do with relationship. For some of y'all, though, for the extreme of soul ties, though, when you tell me, oh, I'm gonna just give you just a surface level context before we start reading this. Ten of Swords, Ace of Wands, Seven of Swords. Yeah. Soul ties is like, say for instance, to where you and it's like, ooh, it's kind of like a cord attachment on 10, right? Soul ties can be in a state of like, say for instance, where you and a person and y'all have sexual exchanges or whatever the case may be. kind of like at the point to where their frequency is your frequency. So say for instance, if a lover was going through something where you were in a relationship from a karmic type standpoint, now you're going through it. Like that's what it is, like the aspects of like that's how powerful soul ties can be. Like say for instance, you were laying down with somebody who suffers with said issues, and now those issues, whatever how personal they were, whatever they went through, whether it was childhood, adulthood, whatever, like that shit can start to affect you. That's how powerful soul ties is. That people don't understand. Okay, let's get back to it. But that's like a form of example for some of y'all though. So it's like hit after hit after hit. If it's like a relationship aspect or figuring like should I leave or should I go or that type thing. I think it's that though. I'm saying I think it's that though. Some of y'all like stuck and unwavered to y'all past though. Because I told you that Capricorn energy upright is not the best because people always assumes the shadow is just in a state of feisty, angry, Knight of Wands, and sometimes it's like the most egregious type shit. Is like staying in environments where you're trauma bond, to where people abuse you, but it just gives you this. I know they're not my friend, but I'm okay with this, and it's like no. And if you've been putting in like prayers or requiring certain things, it's kind of like like you ain't gonna manifest those things until you ideally learn how to deal with what's around you, to let that shit go, to see why you're entertained by whatever it is. How does it affect you, and necessarily when do you want movement? Okay, let's get back to it. You got Three of Wands, you got Ace of Cups, and the Nine of Wands. Sorry, I'm holding these cards like that. Nine of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the Ace of Cups, and the Nine of Wands. I'll tell you the energy for me. That's kind of like for some of y'all, though, I told y'all. Mm, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, I like this though, because some of y'all is coming into awareness. Because I saw you got Ace of Swords here, right here. I told you there's Ace of, that's like coming into awareness, a newness or understanding though. For some of y'all, though, I think it's bringing about a newness, conversation, being able to speak, to talk. Because the 9 of 1 speaks of like not being able to protect, to stand your ground, to defend in what you necessarily believe in, and also speaks of vulnerability. Like it could be the vulnerability type aspects, whatever the case may be when it comes to life, because you got a lot of masculine cards here. I will say that for its leading, for some of y'all, this is the relationships that you get in with men. And it's based off the devil type energy. Oh, he said this, he does this, or he understands. And it's like those men or relationship type aspects, they could lead in a dysfunction type way, but that this is the only dysfunction that comes from it is yours. So it's kind of like, I'm dysfunctional, he's dysfunctional, let's make it work. And it don't necessarily, you get what I'm saying? It's not like a healing type aspects though. That's why I said for some of y'all though, because I like this though, because for some of y'all though, it's snatching your love away from a person or a situation. I will say that though. I like that. That's why I said I did. I like it though. Because if you were talking to somebody or in a relationship type style where it came to a tower type moment where it was forced to move, to leave, it was like a 10 of Swords type energy and an Ace of Wands where it was taxing though. That's why I said I kind of felt like this was an energy exchange where it was tired. It was like a damping style type of energy. It's the lies. It's like the emotional pressure that weighs a person down because it's the lack of dishonesty, because we still got Three of Swords at play. And I thought you had the two when we got the ace, which is that two, but the Two of Swords could be the visiting, the understanding. I don't know. It's the diversity. It's the divided loyalty of understanding. Like I see light, but I don't want dark. How do I let it in? And for some of y'all, though, it's like it's not even feeling the shadow. It's not even feeling the light. That's what it's like. That type. It's not feeling nothing. So that's what I say. Y'all could be in that state though. Let's go. Ooh, I called it. I called it. Okay, you got I called it though. 8 of Cups reverse, Age of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. And then we got the 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords. I don't like this though, because a lot of the speaking cards when it comes to that, it's kind of like horrible communication. For either I'm gonna take or I'm receive. So it's not like really like a lot of intellect, like conversation exchange, whether it's with painful experiences or whatever the case may be. I really don't like this though, because 8 of Cups is more of a resisting and a returning type aspect. So not emotionally evolved, accountable enough to be able to be free to let go. Page of Pentacles is more of an energy of not wanting to stick around. It's like Page of Cups, but it's not necessarily on from the emotional type space. It could be with working finances though. Because so your Page of Pentacles comes after the 10. So it's kind of like in a person who doesn't find his home. or social footing, understanding work. So it's like I'm a career hop. I'm gonna find this. It's like all over the place though. So that's what I said. It's kind of like that though. For some of y'all, it's like a resisting, emotional resisting. So you got the high priestess and the five of swords though. Some of y'all should go check out this Sage reading that I did, or whatever the case may be, because Sage reading was kind of like this though. If you into that though, that overall aspect though, because it wasn't necessary if you don't care about signs. Or we're talking about the if you ain't into signs and Sage reading, we're talking about because that's the healer of the zodiac. So it was talking about them being stuck in areas that needed to heal, so they would resist and clamp up over them. Because I said I think the reading will be dope though. I think it would though. So let's go. I really would. Screen in reverse. Like that. Okay. We got lovers and a page of swords. Please don't let this be a long week. That's what I'm saying. I feel it though. And we got six of cups and the four of cups and the 10 of cups. Yes. That's why I said that though. Dysfunction. Even though it's not reverse, 6 plus 4 equals 10, then the 6 of cups is childhood trauma, past life instances. Lovers, page of swords. Six of Cups and Four of Cups, I tell you that's like dysfunction though, because Six of Cups speaks of making peace with your past. It's kind of like having a peaceful past and that point in the Four of Cups. So it's like regret, like the ditch it, you can't take it. So I told y'all like that's the energy. For some of y'all though, damn, that's what it is. For some of y'all though, I think this tower type moment happened in your life when it came to the balance and the aspects of that, the way you date people who you like in your life, or it's relationship type aspects, or looking for love, or finding that self-love or approval though, because so you pay the source is not necessarily the energy of like it's not content in a relationship. So it needs to snoop, it needs to pry, it needs to feel sure, it needs to overly communicate, under communicate. It doesn't care what it speaks or says. So for some of y'all, this is like the lovers you were attracted to, or this could be you in a relationship though. It's not necessarily open though, because of this, it could be childhood trauma. So for some of y'all though, it's like childhood trauma, past life instances, or connection. I told y'all like this is ascending, and I told you we had the Capricorn energy. So kind of like that. And the number 6 also speaks of human weaknesses, but it also speaks of acceptance, love, joy, help, help, like help. That's what I said. Help, 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 help. That's what it is, though. I will say that though. It's help. It's help. All right, we got one queen now. We got one queen now. I ain't finna start that shit. Ooh, they got my nose again. Okay, you got 10 of Pentacles. Shit. You got 10 of Pentacles reverse. I don't like that. 7 of Cups, King of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, 2 of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't. All right, let me get focused up. Bam. I don't like it though. Okay, overall, did I gotta say though before I start shipping or whatever the case may be? Because I think I might have to do this reading over though. I don't know though, because I don't know if I should split this up in like a part two, because it's giving me like a weekly energy reading, but it gives me like another spread that I had on my phone or whatever the case may be. So I wanted to pull that out, because this don't even give me like the weekly reading. This give me more like personal, like somebody's going through relationship type challenges, even if it's with family or work, because the Queen of Pentacles will be like, okay, and gets herself into a relationship and be tired or do for others and necessarily not themselves. So it will push itself past the max. And then when it comes time for you, the masculine, feminine aspects of the feminine necessarily could be drained the parts of you, where it goes into self-care, understanding, putting those things out there, those fillers, like being emotionally clear. Ten of Pentacles, I told you that reflects chaos in the Page of Pentacles, because the Page of Pentacles is like, I don't know. It's finding a footing. So with the Ten of Pentacles, it's kind of like it will always be in chaos, though. It's just a transition from, it's not a boy to a man, it's just living a grown man or a grown woman type lifestyle. So it's kind of like that, though. That's why I said it's kind of give me like two different spreads. So I don't even know what the fuck I want to call this spread. This don't give me like weekly energy reading, though. For some of y'all, though, I told y'all it was like being burdened by being the voice of reading for family members or whatever the case may be. This could be relationship type styles, though. I would say that though, because I don't like that though, because you got 7 of Cups. The reason why I say I don't like it though, because you got 7 of Cups, the King of Pentacles, it's clear. Like this is masculine energy. It's like, okay, it's clear. If it's a relationship, if it's an aspect, if it got something to do with infidelities, hurt, whatever, childhood trauma, it's like it's clear what it has to do, right? For some of y'all, it's the energy transference. For some of y'all, it's like people in relationships. So you just got something to do with soul ties, the type of masculines or feminines that you're attracted to. It goes to the Ten of Wands, and it goes to the Two of Cups, bam, and then it goes to the Queen of Pentacles. And this is where like and this is not an even exchange. So for some of y'all, I'm not laughing like that though. That's humor. And then you got then you got the Tower. That's why I said for some of y'all, it's not an even exchange with y'all in y'all life, or just masculine and feminine energy, or just the aspects of how you coexist. Because it's kind of like somebody does a transference. Okay, I'm tired. I'm gonna come to you. And I tell you, like masculines and feminines does this style of relationship though, where maternal type energies has been taught you gotta put yourself last over everything though. So I'm gonna always coddle. I'm gonna always do. I'm gonna always be supportive of the masculine, no matter what. No matter what it is. So I'm gonna forget about me in that process to the point where I'm drained. I'm emotionally unequivalent to give. And for some of y'all, though, this could be reversed though. So it's energy. It's not a person. It can be energy. For some of y'all, it is a person. So if you know, you know. But that's why I said this don't give me like the weekly energy reading it could be. So I thought you just kind of want to make me do another one. But yeah, we're gonna pull from the moonology. Listen, I don't know. I kind of want to keep going though. Should I? I don't know though. That's what I said. I kind of want to pull, but I don't. Because I kind of want to relabel this. I wish I could edit this bitch and just crop out and say this is a weekly reading or whatever case may be. I might just load this up with something else though. Because if we do though, I'll tell you, this feel real personal though. And it feels like a real blocked perception when it comes to this type of energy. I would say that though, because it feels like this dizziness. And it's not because of this, my hair. I'm saying it feels like it's not a dizziness, it's a blocked. Because when I got here to the aspect of relationship, because some of y'all may feel blindsided. Because you got the high priestess though going back to here. So it's like a blindsided type energy. When we go back to here. Eight of Cups, Page of Pentacles, reversing the High Priestess, though. Intuitively, you know that you are resisting or not knowing what when it comes to actions. And then this is when this emotional clearness comes about. I guess when the foundation reaches a breach for you to be able to get out or to escape. And it's like a transference of energy, though. That's what I say. It's this. Because I'm telling you, like, in the midway in the reading, it's like this is to shrink or to shut down. So intuitively, when it comes to some of y'all emotions or the way you date or like people who you love or those aspects, though, whether it's social circles, people, relationship, those type of aspects is kind of like that's what somebody just necessarily been attracted to but don't even not know. So that's why I was like, in this season, this is the best time while Mercury is in Scorpio to, if people who into all those different types of things, to go do past life, do shadow type work, understand it, because a lot of people don't understand the depths of shadow work. Get you a mentor, get you somebody else, because I can see what's on the bottom of the deck. Because I saw you got Queen of Wands, Six of Pentacles. I tell you that's not a style of being open, but it's also it's not open though. It's not open to receive. I tell you that's an abuse. And you got Queen of Wands. It's a magician though, reversed, and then you got Seven of Wands. That's what I said. For some of y'all, though, it's like emotionally closed off. I was talking about the feminine type aspects of women to be so emotionally oblivious to certain things in their life where they create calluses and spaces for certain things that they shouldn't necessarily put up with. So it caused like this limited productivity with being able to give to support themselves and others, to be more understanding, to be able to stand up for what is right, what is wrong, all those different types of things. But I'm thinking it's this though. Intuitively, I think some of y'all don't listen to your intuition though. You don't know, because I tell you, like halfway, it was like this just started shutting down. So for some of y'all, the High Priestess came out upright though, but I kind of feel like though it's like a psychic block or an emotional disconnect from the brain into the heart. I don't like that though, because when your pineal gland is like, even though we talk about the solar plex, but when this is like off-putting, that's kind of like you are not being aware of certain situations. So it's kind of like if it takes a familiar, if it's a relationship, if it's a person that's no good because you want it or you're attracted to it, you would still fuck with it. Because it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the shadow or the understanding of something. It don't. You know what I'm saying? It won't. Because you got the Star and the Five of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, and the Temperance, where I talk about there go that one hand watching the other. I can see if this is a video, the video card of it was swooping down in the water, but it's not. It's standing in the water. So for some of y'all, this is how you take from one cup to the other when it comes to you fluctuating energies, relationships, time management situations, and like that's what gets you stuck. Because I think some of y'all are in routine. I'm saying it's like a routine energy. Let me see what it's hangman is. I think some of y'all it's a routine though. Let me see what it's hangman energy is like. I'll tell you that's gonna let me know. Cause this feel like a routine, baby. Did he come out? Did I pass it? Did I get the hangman? Wait a minute. It's my baby love. No, it's not though. Hangman reverse. I say it feels routine though. I don't know why it feels routine. The hangman is not upright. But I'm saying it feels routine. I don't know. For some of y'all, I'll tell you this is a routine though. But I don't think it's a routine with everybody. Let me say that. That's probably why the hangman didn't come out reverse. It's not a routine with everybody, but I think it's a routine with people that you value. Or like relationship type aspects, if it hits into family or relationships or those like who are very emotionally attached to you or you emotionally attached to. So it's kind of like those feelings and blinders, intuition necessarily goes out the window. So say for instance, if this was a mom, right? A mom who was a Queen of Pentacles type energy that was very dark, a bit much based on themselves, ideally though. So it's kind of like, oh, you would ignore this type of behavior with the shadow type aspects and the Ace of Wands with no movement, to where it would condemn other people that's like this. But at the same time, it would gravitate towards these energies unknowingly. Go home, pray, try to manifest from a space of and saying, I want this, I need this. And then not listen to the divinity type aspects of yourself crown mine. So because of the blockages, it gotta manifest in your life. And it creates this to where it causes the breakages of the path. So it's kind of like, who is a leader? Am I a leader? Because it's like necessarily, even though you get a mentor or a person that teach, they're not your leader. They teach you to lead. Even though you're a part of something, you have to learn how to defend for yourself. Queen of Pentacles will want you to be here. That's the energy to say, oh yeah, you come here, you come here. Because the Queen of Pentacles reversal. So this is like the aspects of the card to where you see feminists that say, I don't want to have no kids, fuck some kids, da, 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 da. I don't feel like it, I'm depressed, da, da, da. I'm finna go out, I want a club. I want like they just all over the place when it comes to life. Not saying it could be financially abundance, but it could be like prostitution or whatever the case may be, whatever you want to do. Sleeping with men or whatever like gravitates you towards that idea of the Queen of Pentacles with money, her or herself is kind of like self-absorbed, vain type aspects. So it was like, yeah, shadow me. And then like it's like the shadowy aspects of your shadow would know or intuitively don't fuck with these type of things, but just because you don't let it have free range. Your light doesn't have free range, so it's easily in this energy where it mirrors that number 6 back. I'm gonna give you this back. I'm gonna give you that back. Because I told you number 6 is help. That's that powerful assistance though that comes in from certain people. But at the same time, I tell you when the 6 is reversed, it can be a negative type aspect to where it could dominate in the Queen of Pentacles. I'm gonna tell you this, I'm gonna do this, but I'm not. But I'm only gonna do this for this. So it's like that style of energy though. But I told y'all some of y'all intuitively y'all don't listen to y'all intuition though when it comes to things, people necessarily into life. All right, I don't like that though because it stopped me midway through my reading. I don't think some of y'all know that though. So if you're going through like a whirlwind, woo, if you're going through a whirlwind of emotions, ideally though, I feel like that's gonna fall. If you're going through like a whirlwind of emotions, ideally though in life, it's uncomfortable as hell. Like it's uncomfortable as hell for some of y'all though. And I think for some of y'all though, if it's dealing with like the 6 of Cups energy, a lot of y'all just take that shit on the chin. That's why it's like blocking this. I told you it feels like a block, and I didn't have it when I started out. It's like this, where it's like pressure, because it still wants to open, but it's like a block though. I don't like it. Like, I know, or I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you, number 6 is that Gemini energy. And it talks about communication, talking, the lack of. But when it doesn't know when to speak and when not to speak, or when to learn or when to ask, it's like the Page of Pentacles just around her, just floating around. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna just do something, and it's like she learned from me to answer, like that type of energy. So that's why I said, and it can be easily misled by these styles of energy of people, like the type of pack that's like, no, we're gonna go take, we're gonna go do this. You're like, you sure? I know, and you like this, you like, but I know. that I watch this and they do this. And you can't answer the questions. The queen's like, no, fuck off. You get what I'm saying? It's like that type of energy. And you like, okay. And going along with the flow. End up in a tower type moment. Because you ain't have a lot of learning cards. I would say that the Hierophant did not fall out again. Three of Pentacles didn't come out. Or whatever the case may be. So that's why I said some of y'all like psychically blocked. I would say that though. But this, I'm telling you, this don't feel like a weekly reading. But I'm gonna upload it anyway. But I got another spread I'm gonna put up anyway. It really don't feel like a weekly reading. It's feel like a personal reading. It really don't. Like I'm gonna upload it anyway. Just don't feel like a weekly read. It's feeling more like a personal. Okay, your dreams need a practical plan. And don't let your pride get in the way. For some of y'all, though, I think that's like finding yourself or like finding your roots because that's Tarian type energy when it comes to money, the 3D, like maintaining those type aspects. That is like true Tarian energy. So it needs to know like where are you going before it sets the intention of bringing certain things in your life. Fixed sign energy. You got another one, which when it comes down to Leo, which is the full moon in Leo, where it talks about relinquishing a said control, because a lot of y'all are fixated on the wrong things or manifested from a state of trying to bring in abundance, but it needs to relinquish certain things. New moon and Sag. I tell you, this is the healing type of aspects where I was like, some of y'all probably need to go watch that, John, where it talks about luck being on your side, calling things in. You got new moon in Aqua. I tell you, this is informational. This is aspects. This is humanitarian type work. For some of y'all could be in that space of like humanitarian or understanding, or always saying, "Oh, that's just Karen. Karen's having a bad day. That's just this person." And it's like romanticizing that sense of pain because trauma bonds would do that to you. Then I say, fixated, hold your vision. Fixed moon or whatever the case may be. And new moon, it is a time to give rather than take. I told y'all, a lot of y'all, it's when it comes to the balancing type aspects. So a lot of y'all are experiencing blowback after blowback after blowback after blowback in life. Because I told you, Queen of Pentacles could be like a self-absorbed type energy. Sometimes it could be selfish, but it could be self-absorbed. It could be thinking about what it could get from life or what life needs to give from me from a state of pain. It's like, oh no, I'm hurting. Da, da, da. So it always thinks of what life should do for it. Or you see people, they overwork the alchemy type state when it comes to, I want this, I want this, I want to manifest this, I want to bring it. And it's like, what the fuck you doing for that? Like, you know, when you see people, it's like, what are you doing for that? When you see people who just be drawing, I'm going to use this, I'm going to use this, like, what the fuck you did for that? Or you see somebody and you be like, hey, how you get that? And you just want to know, and they don't want to tell you how they got it. And it's like, well, what you do for get that? And they be like, man, I don't even know. Like, I think towards some of y'all in life, when it comes to certain things, though, it's like figuring out your life path and what it is that you want to do, or you probably already know what you want to do, but it's just executing it to find your own happiness. So I tell you, it's like, you know, but it's this, because I'm like, it's this. Like, what is that though? Okay, you got your hard work is paying off. Let me close it up. Let me close it up. Okay, new moon and Cap. You got a new start is coming. But for some of y'all don't see it though. I thought this was an eclipse moon, but it's just a new moon though. Don't it look like an eclipse moon though? But it said a new start is coming for a lot of y'all that do spell work. Start writing y'all some petitions, or like, you know how like people do bonfires and shit like that when people come, or if you go to a space of where it's like wooded areas, or that fire can bleed if you go into like a camping type retreat. Like try that on a full moon type aspect. So if you got like a charcoal pit in your backyard, whatever the fuck it is that's going on in your life, right? You can like write all those things, like if it's a full moon, and relinquish those pains. Like say, okay, well, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, and you throwing it in a bonfire, whatever the case may be. Whether you sit out there for a minute, you watch it, if you walk away, you let the ashes sit, whatever you do with it. For me, I told you I like to burn mine and some, and then throw my ashes in the ground, give Mother Nature back her shit. But to transmute, to help, because it's not like that necessarily. It's not like it makes it goes away as fast, but it draws in like the help, the longevity that it teach you. That's what I learned. You hear me say how I use my magic. I don't know. I don't know. Everybody got their own different types of ways. So don't listen to me. Okay. Last card you got, you are, what's that? Ooh, Girl, what is that? You are very close to achieving your goals. I was like, that's how I use mine though. I knew that in a time for healing. What do you need to release? I bet y'all like, girl, stop on the fucking call. What do you need to release? No, I said it's all about that though. Relinquishing, pulling in, and calling in. That's why I said it's a time to give rather than take. Virgo is the mother of the zodiac. So for some of y'all know when it comes to the maternal type aspects though, when we was in that energy, it was like, how did you give to yourself? What is your harvest? Like how do you treat yourself? Like what did you do while we was in that energy when we was stagnant? Like did you make sure you eat properly? Like did you study? Did you say you was gonna work out? Like what the fuck did you do while we was in while we was in Virgo energy? Because let me say something, I ain't do shit. Because I knew I had been pushing out blogs and shit, and I ain't give a fuck. So I was like, shit, I'm rested. I'm good. So that's what I was. I'm like, so what did you do in Virgo energy? And I'm saying like that will be highlighted into Libra season. Like for your shadow type work. So what was like on your mind intuitively? Like where were you at stagnant, stuck? Like what did you not find joy in? What did you sit there and like? I don't like this. I don't like this. What did you do? Like what? Like what in your life did you find most time to complain about? I was in Virgo season. What did you complain about? Like more than 3 days, and it'll tell you what you need to work on. But other than that, though, I told y'all this is the weekly reading. Though it just felt a little different. I tell you, it felt a little personal. It really did. It felt awkward though. It's like really emotionally raw. I think for some of y'all just don't like talking about y'all emotions. Whatever the case may be. And that's okay though. But no, I don't think some of y'all like talking about y'all emotions. I think that's it. That's why you had like a big 7 of Cups energy at play. A big 7 of Cups energy at play. The 7 of Cups doesn't always have to be drugs or something that you use. It could be like the state of like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do this to make up time. The illusionary type state. So for some of y'all know, I think it's like moving in that energy so much that you hear me say the moon was reversed, the 7 of Cups was reversed. But it's like, okay, you see it. But what are you gonna do about it? For some of y'all though, I think it's just emotionally raw. I don't know, cause I don't know. I tell you, do somebody validate y'all a lot, or your experiences, or you, or whatever it is that goes? Like I say, I didn't like that though. I don't like that though. I don't like that. So yeah, cause I seen a bunch of crows though. Cause I'm saying, this might relate though. I was outside and I seen some crows. Them is some thugs. I'm sitting outside, y'all, and the fucking crows rolled up, and all the little gray birds flew away. Cause I saw this one little gray bird kept fucking with me. It kept cheating on me, right? Wait till I get right there, and it's like so much shit on the side of the house, cause he would be hot, and it would just hawk his ass up and shit on me, like that ass. I was like, look, okay, you almost got my cup. Yeah, 3 moon cards, 3 Emma cards, but the crow came up and it was like, rah, ran away. The black kid on the bottom of it. I said it got something to do with speaking, intelligence, knowing, or confidence. So I said, somebody validate y'all. I'm going back to that though. The crow, ooh, look at that, look at that, look at that. Splitting, vulture. Did we talk about that vulture energy? Um, when I was researching the crow, or whatever the case may be, the crow, where it talks about in this deck, it's about spiritual awareness, where it should be called on when like your mind is clear, or you're trying to push or ascend, or using the intellect. So for some of y'all, I think y'all don't pay attention. So if you've been using deities or praying or other sources or divine type beings, it's kind of like not paying attention in this Queen of Pentacles energy. Oh, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna get my hair done. I'm gonna get my nails done. Da, 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 da. It had manifested into your life. Like that's the dark part of this Capricorn style type energy. It's kind of like, how the fuck did I get here? Like, what did I call into my life? What did I do? And for some of y'all, I think that's the way you see. Check out Cancer read or yours. So check out them though, because we highlighted on them though for how they're learning certain things. So, check that out though. And Libra for y'all's in the work field. And if you're trying to manifest, check out Taurus. Just check out. Just check them out. Oh, whatever the case may be, but yeah. Y'all ain't get angry for the comments. I was like, if y'all was angry, check out Scorpio. Scorpio was all over the place. I was like, damn, y'all got some of that energy too. Y'all fucking damn. All right, let's go. Ooh, we back at the vulture. Ooh, the spider. I told you this got something to do with your shadow. I tell you, the spider is like the shadowy type aspects though. Not the octopusy. I told you that though. Um, I said that though. Somebody invalidate y'all a lot. With certain experiences in life have invalidated some of y'all. I would say that though. Because them like some strong cards there alone. Because I tell you, the spider is more scared of you than it is of anything else though. Do I want to take these? I don't know if I want to take these though. Because you got dragonfly, the raccoon, and the starfish. I say the starfish could be more a vanity type card. Dragonfly speaks of like transmuting and trying to do light, but it's not. I'll tell you, the raccoon could be a familiar type style. Where the raccoon, it's like a savagery. It defends, it protects. But it's like what means is it protecting? Like, will that do that for them? The raccoon does speaks about if you trying to like manifest and bring certain things into fruition, and it's like that shit gonna hit gold mine or whatever the case may be. So that's what it speaks to that though. But I told y'all, going back to that, that's the reason why I asked somebody to validate y'all, because the spider speaks of like being scared. Like the spider fears you before it's it, so it reacts. I'm gonna take like a lot of animals. It's weird. We got the otter. This is a playful time. The spider could be scared of you, so it runs or reacts, so it tries to bite. But the spider spends its time spinning that web for a long time. So that's why I said for some of y'all, this is like a life cycle for y'all, where the wheel of fortune was necessarily reversed, where it's showing you like maybe the chaos of situations where you hear me. I tell people all the time, not invalidating their pain, so please don't get mad. I said if you experience any trauma, inner child type trauma, from 18 on down, as an adult, you have to, if you're working, it's like being responsible of how that affected you to make the necessary outcomes in your life. So that's what I said. Ooh, here we go. Last card out. We got Dragonfly, and then we got Solar Place. I know I said Dragonfly. Fuck Butterfly, and then we got the. As we cleared it out for us, the root chakra. We got the turtle reverse. Turtle. How the things go? I told you, yeah, that's just it though. So I told y'all probably could be seeing these a lot, dreaming about these. I don't know, because I told you a spider necessary. That's the shadowy type aspects. That's your shadow want to come out, but you won't let it come out. I think a lot of people are scared of their own shadow. The octopuses could be so intertwined into other people's business or certain things. It speaks of revealing though. Like it reveals too much to where it needs to relinquish back. It's like the boundaries that needs to come into play, like boundaries, healthy guidelines, establishments, or whatever the case may be. And I tell you, the rabbit, it speaks of his fear. So for some of y'all though, this kind of like the intertwinedness. For some of y'all though, it's kind of like business and personal, overlapping type aspects. That some of y'all's boundaries that's gonna come into play. The otter speaks of like a joyful time and wanting to have fun. Some of y'all keep telling y'all ain't shit about beautiful or learning for the aspects of certain people trying to get to the nitty gritty. When I be telling people that say, "Oh, I want to take a couple shrooms and it's gonna do this and have fun," I'm like, "Shit, when you come down off that motherfucker, and you take that visa from that past life, and you doing that shadow work, baby, it's gonna get real fucking ugly. It ain't gonna be shit beautiful about it. It's like, oh, I'm gonna heal. It's gonna be like, hell no, it's not. It's them deep, ugly parts of you. And I ain't talking about physical beauty. Fuck that shit. I'm talking about internal beauty. So let's see though, how could you bring this to bringing your octopusy into no, I need to stop saying it. So bringing the octopus into balance is talk is therapy. I said talk therapy or space oneself out. To bring the turtle into balance. Sometimes you need an adventure where I say going camping or something like that, doing like a full moon ritual your damn self, or whatever the case may be, whether it's screaming or whatever. The otter to bring it to balance, where it talks about that solar plex, or is it solar plex or root? I think your root is where like you should dance, you should sing, all those different types of things for is that celebration, celebratory. I told you each milestone that you reach in your life, you should necessarily be trying to say, oh, I did that, I mastered that. Because that helped me a lot. Tell you when I was going through like those dark ass days, I was like, bitch, I ain't do what I ain't do this, but I did do what I usually don't do. So I figured out what I could good in this bitch. I'm trying to see how y'all can bring these into balance. This neat. I ain't gonna mention the way. Is this one? Oh, these. Okay. Okay, we because I never make this shit up because it's like too long. I feel like a person though. Wait a minute. I don't think it's in there. Girl, I'm all over the place. The rabbit it should spin to bring it to balance. It speaks of bring to bring it to balance. It's a taking a day off or spending in silence. When it is out of balance, it over explains and it talks fast. When a raccoon to bring that into balance, it speaks of like making new work, something to do, or whatever the case may be. I told you that's like that. It's the creative part. It's the talented shadow and the hiding. That's why I said a lot of y'all want to let y'all shadow come out. Like I told y'all that that's what artists is like the pain that they have make the best music. I'm telling y'all, like it's so many artists that I like. When they be in pain, I'm like, oh, I know this good. Not like I want them to be in a state of pain, but I'd be like, bitch, I know this album gonna be so good. Okay. The spider to bring it to balance, it is playful creativity. That's why I said for some of y'all won't let your shadow ascend or heal like the darker parts of you. You won't express it or bring it out into about, even if it's not like a sense of rage. If you don't want to be in anger, but it's just emotional freedom to say, okay, I want to do this. I want to do this. Whether I want to go to the store and I want to wear a onesie. If, you know what I'm saying? Like you see on the movies where they get drunk and they do all these different types of things. They go in the grocery store, whatever it is. And you see them where it's like real ghetto type moments. Like that's the shadow just expressing itself. Not giving a fuck. Just not giving a fuck. Whatever the case is. So on that note, y'all, this is it. I'm going to upload that junk with the spread. Healing trauma. It's coming. So that's it though. So that's it. I'm gonna upload this real quick.